YouTube, what is up, everybody? Dustin here, and I'm coming back at you from beyond the arc. All the info on and off the court for the off season. We just looking at everything going on off the court. And today, as the dad hat says, I've got my seed in the booth. This is Clay.
What's going on? This is Clay Griffin. I'm here about to present a new episode of You Beyond the Arc. We're going to be getting to some new NBA news going on, some new trades happening. I'll hand it over to Dustin and we'll get right into it.
So, spoiler alert, 2 episodes today. The one he want to talk about most is going to be this one. It's going to be the John Collins trade for a used condom and a bag of chips. Rudy Gay in a second-round pick is kind of ridiculous. Like, I get that John Wall has been on the decline. Not John Wall, what the fuck? I get that John Collins has been on the decline for, probably a year and a half, 2 years. He averaged, 22 and 12 and then just didn't do it again. But I don't know what Atlanta was doing.
I agree. John Collins has been on the decline for the past few years, but I think it also becomes with the backcourt and coming of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. It kind of taken more of the ball from him, but the trade getting to it, just talking about Rudy Gay, a second-round pick for John Collins. I just think it's a lose-lose for both teams.
Because it's not like Atlanta didn't get better; they got worse. You got Rudy Gay, who has got to play power forward. Shout out Rudy Gay, absolutely busted in every 2K from 15 to 22, literal god.
Yeah.
But they didn't get better. They cleared up a little bit of cap, but I don't think anyone wants to go to a team with 2 point guards and no one else. So I don't think Atlanta gets shit out of this. I think the only real winner, I guess the Jazz have a lot more potential in their lineup now, which I think is cool. Because you were talking about it earlier, Jordan Clarkson can run the one and actually just do his thing now.
He can ball out. And you have 3, 4, and 5 positions that are filled with players that are 6'9", 6'10", and above. And you can keep Walker Kessler, who was averaging about 2.1 blocks last season. Yeah, he did.
He was playing 15 minutes.
Yeah, he was averaging. He was one of the best defensive players in the league in the floor, especially in the paint. And he's 7'1". You can pair him with Lauri Markkanen, who kind of plays a lot like Dirk minus the post game, but he's able to space the floor and can play the 4 or the 5 if he needs to get boards. But also now with the addition of John Collins, you can really switch all 3 of those players between the 3, 4, and 5. But you could also run a big ball lineup that allows them to shoot threes and Jordan Clarkson to be that guy.
I don't know about Kessler playing the 3, but I know what you mean about Lauri and John switching around.
Yeah, Lauri and John switching around. Maybe Collins and Kessler switching between the 4 and the 5 though.
Who's their center off the bench? It's not Derek Favors, is it?
No.
I was like,
he's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
But that's also where it comes in. You can rotate those 3 off the bench.
I was about to say, if they have another big man off the bench, I feel like that would be Kessler could run the 4, Lauri could play the 3, John gets total rest in that, or you could run John at the 4.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this earlier. John Collins, most of his buckets are coming from threes, backdoor cuts to a lob, pick and rolls, a lot of basic.
And he's getting a lot of points inside the paint.
Yeah, just
he's getting a lot of points in the paint.
He's athletic as fucking 6'9". That's exactly what he should be doing, But if he can add, I don't think he's got the potential or the time to add everything to his game. But if he can add either a really good ball handling element or just become a better passer, he could play a little more on the wing, a little more not small, maybe small forward, but just be a more versatile player. Because at this point, his points, rebounds, everything's gone down for 2 years now, and he's still only 25, 6. He's not old at all.
Yeah, he's pretty young, and he's done what he should be doing, but he's just not that X factor for the Hawks. They need to go over the hump. But as you were saying, I think if he develops the skill of passing or being able to dribble, where he could play a slasher at the 3 position, which would really aid Lauri and Kessler to space the floor, where he can hit threes. Lauri can be more off ball, or he can be on ball, which allows John off ball. I think it allows for a lot more of a a more open Utah Jazz team to kind of take advantage of this new NBA era of just spacing the floor.
I'm interested to see new Lauri Markkanen next season after serving in the Finnish army for 6 months. Like some big 7-foot Finnish dude coming at you. Like, that's not normally all that scary. You tell me he's got 6 months military experience and borderline all-star in the NBA.
Yeah,
what else he got going on? Like
that's gonna be scary to look at. I mean, today I saw a picture of him with camo on his face. Like, dude, that's the picture alone is just frightening to look at. But now seeing him in the league just splashing threes in your face at this point, it's just gonna be
not even like
icing on the cake.
I'm thinking he's about to come back treating these centers like they a log at boot camp. He about to be bullying some shit. Like, he about to be throwing his weight around. At least that's what I hope. I hope he starts playing some real big man ball and kind of sticks more to that power forward center role because he's already good at all the small forward business.
I hope so. I see his ceiling as he kind of struggled the first few years when he was with
Timberwolves. That was Tom Thibodeau's fault, bro. The Bulls were never going to let him thrive. Thibodeau shit with young players.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he went from the T-Wolves drafted him, and then the Bulls traded.
He went straight to the
Larkinen
Bulls.
For Butler. That's when the Timberwolves had
Levine
Butler.
trade.
Yeah, that trade. He was top 6, top 8 overall, and then he didn't really thrive there. Went to Chicago, got a few more minutes, got some buckets, but it was a really bad Cavs team. That's before they were really kind of found their identity, and they're still doing that now, but they're doing a pretty good job at it.
You talking about Chicago or Cleveland?
Cleveland now. But goes to the Jazz, finds his place as the Jazz are trying to rebuild, and kind of surprises a lot of people. And his ceiling, like I was saying, his ceiling, he could, the way he plays and mimics his game after he plays, maybe not in the post as much with the fadeaway, but he reminds me a lot of Prime Dirk, just the way his body movements and the way he flows and just plays with the game. Like, that's just who I see him kind of replicating, not to compare, but
I think he's the best just floors. I know people are going to say like, "Oh, Cat, meat right." I don't think Cat's really all that. I think Cat is a point guard or a shooting guard trapped in a big man's body.
Hey, but he remember he said he's influenced the game, and about when he retires, about 25, 30 years after, he said that people going to be still talking about him. So
give me Lowry over Cat. Give me Lowry over Cat. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. Give me Lowry over Cat. Going back to
one of the best big shooting men of all time, but still.
You talking about Cat?
Yeah,
goofy.
Yeah, but he goofy for that statement.
Light skin ass.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. He goofy for that statement.
But I mean, I guess Atlanta. I got a couple free agents like written down, but even just looking at them, I don't see anybody that really helps Atlanta. Like, you've got Clint Capella, your center's locked down. You need a wing. Chris Middleton's not coming to the 6. James Harden's not coming to the 6.
No.
Draymond's not coming to the 6. Kuzma doesn't help the 6.
So, Kuzma doesn't help the 6, but out of that list that you stated, I think out of the best free agents that are listed in probably the top 10, I do think that Draymond personally will help them the most out of anybody else.
But he's not going to Hot Atlanta. Like,
he's realistically not going to the 6. He's not going to Hot Atlanta, but the potential for him to go there and how he would fit into the system is wonderful. Clint Cabella's grabbing on any night when he's putting in his all. He's grabbing at least 14, 15 boards.
Yeah, he's him.
DeJounte Murray's locking up who's ever on the ball, getting at least a block and a steal, if not two
steals,
two of each.
And 10 dimes.
And he's getting 10 dimes. He's getting
60%.
60%. He's getting points. Trae Young, he's gonna do what he does. He's Ice Trae at the end of the day. We all know what Ice Trae is. He's been hitting game winners ever since he's been in the league. He's just been.
But they're not going. They are a struggling team who just got worse and don't have plans on making more moves. So
right.
I just don't think that this trade made. I think a John Collins trade is exactly what they needed, but I don't think this trade made any sense for them.
I don't think it made any sense either. But I think the fact that it frees up cap space for them to kind of trade for who they need or kind of go after whoever they want in free agency, like that Draymond type player who may necessarily not give you points, but he's giving you the grit and grind you need that you can't get from your point guards to stand up to the big men and your big men aren't standing up for themselves, because Clint Capella is not going to go up to Joel Embiid or Jokic and fucking talk a shit. And I mean, it's not the fact that he's not to their level. It's just he just doesn't have that enough dog in him to do that.
Yeah. Who does Atlanta got on the wing? I know they got DeAndre Hunter. They traded Cam Reddish.
They got Hunter.
I was about to say maybe you put DeAndre Hunter at the 4.
They got definitely Hunter, if that.
Kevin Herter's got traded, didn't he, on the Kings? Ain't he?
Yeah, he's on the Kings now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know, bro, but I don't really think this trade made.
That.
I don't think this trade made too much of a difference. The only other thing that I really wanted to talk about was something that did make a difference and will make a difference. And it's that boy Lonzo can't even walk up a set of stairs, bro.
Lonzo is gonna be out for a whole nother season.
He's done. No NBA player has ever had cartilage replacement surgery and come back. Period. They've never even made it back to the league. And Lonzo was like peaking, coming into himself, averaging double-digit assists, 2 steals, block and a half, shooting 50% from 3 for stretches of time with the Chicago Bulls, leading them to be a top 3 defense in the East, top 5 in the league. They were a great team for long stretches of time, and it just doesn't work without Lonzo, and I hate to see it.
Yeah, I think the DeBalzac trio, one of the most legendary names that we've seen in the league in the past few years, DeBalzac.
Gay sex.
Lonzo Ball.
Sex land.
DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine.
DeBalzac,
they make it up right there. But before Lonzo gets injured, they were in first. No, they were in first in the first about 20 games, 30 games. They had the league just like the Pelicans when Zion went out. Same thing with Lonzo Ball. When Lonzo Ball goes out, they're done. I mean, that's their floor general. Lonzo Ball may not have been the player that everybody thought he was going to be coming to the league, just that athletic guy with the crazy jump shot who just kind of slings and it goes in. But he turned into a floor general lockdown defender that's going to turn the tide for your team in the game, especially when you have 2 stars on your team like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine.
But he's also never going to play ball again.
Yeah. I think, he's been out over half of last season, and he's going to be out the entirety of the next season. The likelihood he comes back and plays like he did is less than 1%, and I think it's just going to be another DeMar DeRozan story. And the sad thing about it is, Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Derrick Rose is going to be another sad Derrick Rose story, but I think we just have to blame it on LeVar Ball's big baller brand shoes. That's just kind of what fucked his knees up from the beginning.
All I'm going to say is that if I had a really talented, really young guy who could change my team on the sidelines, I would much rather him be working his ass off on rehabbing his knee than banging a porn star and getting her pregnant. Zion's got to get traded. If you want to see that, subscribe. Watch later.